Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsa Rishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha. Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Yairime Gurubhi Purvam Padavakya Pramanatah Vyakyatah Sarva Vedantaha Tanityam Pranatosmyaham. Om Sadashivasamarambham Vyasashankaramध्यamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Parambaram. Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kruto Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram. Om विदिताखिल शास्त्र सुधा जलधे महितोपनिषत् गतितार्थनिधे हृदये कलये विमलं शरणं भव शंकर देशिगमे शरणम्. ओं परब्रह्मणे नमः. श्रुतिमात्रे नमः. समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. श्री वेदव्यास वैशंपायने आज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकरादि गुरुभ्यो नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. परब्रह्मण श्रुतिमातो समस्त गुरूणां देवतानाम् अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव सिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थानजागरण विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं श्री कृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः आद्यशङ्कराचार्य भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. आदौ सूक्तानां पारायणं वयं सर्वे Karishyamahe. From today, for 2 or 3 weeks, we will chant one suktam for becoming familiar for 4 or 5 days, so that new things we learn. Today we will do Vishnu Suktam. Keep that mantra Pushpam book with you. Today we will do Vishnu Suktam. Then we will do Bhu Suktam. Then Neela Suktam. Then Devi Suktam. In this way, the things which are not so familiar to us, those things we learn. Om Vishnoranugrahena Paramatma Anubhava Darshana Praptyartham Vishnu Suktasya Parayanam Sarve Karishyamahe. Sanatana Dharmasya Vishwavyaptyartham cha Sanatana Dharma Sadhaka Sevakanam Vignashatru Nirmurana Dvara शक्ति संपदा साधना प्राप्ति द्वारा दिग्विजय प्राप्त्यर्थम च. ओम अथ विष्णु सूक्तम. ओम विष्णोर्नुकं वीर्याणि प्रवोचम्य पार्थिवानि विममे रजागं सियो अस्कभायदुत्तरगं सधस्थं विचक्रमाणस्त्रेदोरुगायो विष्णोरराटमसि विष्णोः पृष्ठमसि विष्णोष्णप्त्रेस्थो विष्णोस्योरसि विष्णोर्ध्रुवमसि वैष्णवमसि विष्णवे त्वा तदस्य प्रियमभिपाथो अस्याम नरो यत्र देवयभो मदन्ते उरुक्रमस्य सहि बन्धुरित्था विष्णोः पदे परमे मध्व उत्सः प्रतद्विष्णुस्तवते वीर्याय मृगो न भीमः कुचरो गिरिष्ठाः यस्योरुषु त्रिषु विक्रमणेषु अधिक्षियन्ति भुवनानि विश्वा परो मात्रया तनुवावृधान् न ते महित्वमन्वश्नुवन्ते उभे ते विद्मरजसि पृथिव्या विष्णो देवत्वं परमस्य वित्से विचक्रमे पृथिवीमेष एतां क्षेत्राय विष्णुर्मनुषे दशस्यन्न ध्रुवासो अस्य कीरयोजनसः ऊरुक्षितिगुं सुजनिमाचकार त्रिर्देवः पृथिवीमेष एतां विचक्रमे शतर्च सम्महित्वा प्रविष्णुरस्तु तव सस्तवीयान् त्वेषगह्यस्य स्थविरस्य नाम अतो देवा अवन्तु नो यतो विष्णुर्विचक्रमे पृथिव्याः सप्तधामभिः इदं विष्णुर्विचक्रमे त्रेधा निदधे पदं समूढमस्य पागं सुरे त्रीणि पदा विचक्रमे विष्णुर्गोपा अदाभ्यः ततो धर्माणि धारयन् विष्णोः कर्माणि पश्यत यतो व्रतानि पस्पशे इन्द्रस्य युज्यः सखा तद्विष्णोः परमं पदगुं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवीव चक्षुरा ततं तद्विप्रासो विपन्यवो जागृवागं सस्समिन्धते विष्णोर्यत् परमं पदं पर्याप्त्या अनन्तरायाय सर्वस्तोमोतिरात्र उत्तममहर्भवति सर्वस्याप्त्यै सर्वस्य चित्यै सर्वमेव तेनाप्नोति सर्वं जयति ॐ शान्ति शान्ति shantihi. For 5 days we'll chant same thing every day so that we become sufficiently familiar with these most divine Veda mantras. Om Ata Shri Krishna Yajurvedantargata Taittiriya Aranyakanthargata Taittiriya Upanishada Om Yasmat Jatam Jagat Sarvam Yasmin Eva Pradiyate Yenedandharyate Chaiva तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः अथ प्रथमोऽनुभागः ॐ ब्रह्मविदाप्नोति परं तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म यो वेदनिहितं गुहायां परमे व्योमन् सोऽश्नुते सर्वान् कामान् सः ब्रह्मणा विपश्चिते ते तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाश सम्भूतः आकाशाद्वायुः वायोरग्निः अग्नेरावः अद्भ्यः पृथिवी पृथिव्या ओषधयः ओषधीभ्योऽन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषः स वा एष पुरुषोऽन्नरसमयः तस्येदमेव शिरः अयं दक्षिणपक्षः अयमुत्तरपक्षः अयमात्मा इदं पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Salute Parabrahma Tattva, salute Shruti Mata, extend the salutes, gratitudes to all the Brahma Vidya Acharya, Rishimuni Guru and all the Devatas who bless us with healthy faculties. Salute Sri Vedavyasa Shukadeva, Vedavyasa Vaishampayana, Yagnavalkya, and our Bhashyakara Sri Bhagavan Adi Shankara. Let us salute also our own personal Guru Parampara, Gotra to which we belong, and also to our own Swa Guru. May all of them bless us, seeing our sincerity with all the ability faculties to thoroughly understand, do sadhana, and reach out to the ultimate. In spiritual sadhana, like in any other field of life, also, these three ways of involvement are required for truly doing them and truly getting the benefit. The first is the knowingly doing. Knowingly doing means let us know, first of all the things in their clarity and detail. What we have taught or sought or we are seeking in the spirituality, in the Adhyatmikata, about that Vishaya subject, there should be no vagueness at all. So it is the moksha prapti. Moksha through the Brahma prapti. Through Brahma prapti is moksha from the bandhanam. The bandhanam is of the jiva bhava, dehadi tadatmya, then Vishwa Jagat taken as real, then towards the Vishwa, the variety of relativity in which we are lost in that. From this entire thing, we have to be freed, liberated. First of all, we should know that this is a bondage. We should know that this is the bondage. We should know that this is the one. And the name of giving us sukha is giving only us dukkha. That feeling of expecting sukha from the world, yet getting only dukkha is called delusion. We must know clearly without any ambiguity that we are in the delusion of trying to get sukha from that source where it is not available at all. After all this thoroughly known, only that we will do two things. One, to avoid this one. Second, then the question is, then where is that sukha, shashvata is available? Then we tell ki it is in the self, in your own innermost. Then how is it that in the self it is there? Then this is how the Brahma Vidapnoti Param Tadesha Bhukta Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yovedanitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman Saha Ashtute Sarvan Kaman Saha. This portion is the answer to that question as to where is that Sukha Ananda. Saha Ashtute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana. Only in the Anubhava of the Brahman as I am, that all the Shashvata Sukha Shanti is ours. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kamantam Atmastam Yenu Pashyanti Dhiraha Tesham Sukham Shashvatam Netaresham Tesham Shanti Shashvati Netaresham. See, only to them the Shanti, na Itaresham. Sashanti Mapnoti in Gita, na Kama Kami. Everywhere we are told in all the Upanishads that the Nitya Sukha Shanti Ananda, which is the demand of our heart, is available only in the Anubhuti of Paramatma. This thing we have to 100 times listen, 1000 times contemplate, then come to conclusion, conviction that only in the Brahma Prapti there is Moksha Ananda. Nitya Adivya Ananda. Then only the third question will come. Then how to reach to that Brahma Anubhuti? While doing so, all the upadhi, all the earlier habits, they keep on overpoweringly influencing us. So we'll be very consciously, carefully by detaching them from them, by devaluing them, and by putting all our time, mind only in the sadhana, we can come out of their powerful influence. And then this side also, because of our regularity, our sadhana becomes more vigorous, beautiful. Then we can see the glimpses. So, first is what? The knowing aspect. If the knowing is not there clearly, if it is continuous vagueness is there, then we will never be able to do consistently, systematically. It takes time, but we have to give time to know exactly both the limitation of the world, binding effect of the world, then the unlimited nature of the self and its result of liberation. And we have to fully believe, accept it from so deep core of our heart that other than knowing Paramatma, I don't want to know or do or gain anything else. Did we come to that level in our heart now? If yes, other than pursuing Paramatma by all the means indicated by Shastra, we will not involve in anything beyond requirement. There is no importance given to anything at all in life if this is convinced, except for our Vyavahara, except for our Dharma. Is it happening in us? No. That means what? Our knowing is not pakka. So then let us work on it. Let us do that rigorous exercise. Any number of times, any number of Upanishads we study are taught, same is taught. We have to do Mananam. We have to come to our own conclusion. And such a wonderful, if that conclusion comes to us, that the bliss is there only in Paramatma. In everything other than Paramatma, it's all Maya created. If you go for bliss, it will give you blister, not bliss. We have to be ruthless in this understanding. If not, little bit also imaginary, delusory value we continue give to the world, then we continue to be the worldly only. Then all our attention, everything is external. कुछ भी करो होगा नहीं अभी मन. अब किसी व्यक्ति वस्तु को वैल्यू दिया आपने and try to pull your mind from that. Can it be possible? It's impossible. Once you have valued, whomever it may be, value is both raga and dvesha. Here also, this is the way we have to do. So that's called as knowingly doing. Second is what? Consciously doing. We have to become conscious of our life, conscious of our continuous every day, conscious of what sadhana we have to do and we are doing it or not. Even after knowing, there is a danger of doing that semi consciously or unconsciously, in other words, mechanically. The second level is conscious we have to be. Where I am doing japa for my ekagrata, whether I am doing my yoga abhyasa for chitta vritti nirodha, where I am doing the upasana, namasmarana or bhajana kirtana for Bhagavad Kripa, all are required in sadhana. Anything to be done, let us develop the doing in more conscious manner. Develop ourselves in. So knowing first aspect ho gaya. Second is consciously doing, not mechanically doing. चल रहा है daily, but then we are not present there at all consciously. It has become a routine like other routines, but we are not doing consciously. From that, with consciousness, with alertness, with awareness, we have to do all that's required to be done. Like now I am in the class. Mechanically, I can do semi present of the presence of the mind, I can do. Consciously, also, I can do of every sentence of Upanishad and Bhashya talking. Is it not? You also, while listening, consciously you can listen to grasp meaning of every word, every sentence. आधा सुना आधा नहीं सुना ऐसा भी हो सकता है. देखो जितना कॉन्शियसली करें उतना फायदा ज्यादा होता है. Remember it. Then comes the third most important one. After this stage of consciously doing, third level is what? Totally, fully engrossed in that. To such an extent that I, that sadhana doer, myself have forgotten myself. Fully engrossed in that. This engrossing aspect in spiritual sadhana, if we can really reach to, we are really are blessed. पूरा उसमें डूब जाना है बस. Like in any river, as long as you are not engrossed your head also inside the water, total joy will not come. Even in any of the enjoyments also, totally if you are not engrossed. As you're watching TV or watching something else, आपको पूरा उसमें डुबकी लगाने से जो आनंद आता है, अदमन से नहीं होता वो हाफ माइंड से. So knowing very clearly, doing very consciously, and getting lost in it or engrossed in it means when I'm doing japa, I must know why I am doing. I must consciously do, and I must fully engross in it. There's no me left there. Even when I'm not there, how can my world will be there then? Then what's happening? that chosen beautiful sadhana of japa we are doing, and in the doing, the result will be so spectacular. Or it's a upasana. Engross in that abhishekam, engross in that ashtottaram, engross in that arati, whatever the upasana done, pura usme. So knowingly doing, consciously doing, engrossingly doing. We have to try for these levels. Then we can see that we are really doing साधना. फिर उसका फल भी हमको प्रत्यक्ष रूप से दिखेगा. अब किसी चीज का फल ही नहीं हो रहा. Why? क्योंकि we are not involving in that way. Why that was? Because we are not aware that we have to create this type of personality for doing sadhana well and getting benefit. We were at that uh, we were at that less informed stage by ourselves for ourselves. I don't say immature stage, less informed कि इसको ऐसा करना है नहीं पता. अब पता चल गया. Now we have to try like that. So the Upanishad Adhyayanam, then Manana Chintanam at room, and then the Dhyana Adi. Let us knowingly do it. Let us consciously do it to such an extent that we will be fully engrossed in that. When we engross, then we as an individual are not there. So much the sadhana beautifully can be done. That gives the result to us. So may we all in this regard go forward. May the Lord, the Gurus, bless us. O Lord, hey Guru, you brought us up to the regularity of classes. Now please give us complete knowledge of everything. Brahmavid apnoti param, the meaning of this sentence should be so pakka in the deepest core of the heart से लेकर the surface of the mind तक. Not that it's only at the surface but not in the heart. Or what is understood but not remembered. ऐसा नहीं. हमको इतना इसका स्मरण याद होना चाहिए. So to Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Why that Brahman is said to be Satyam? Why Jnanam Anantam? Why these gunas belong only to the Brahman? And Brahman is only these qualities, not the opposite. All that information, knowledge should be very pakka to me. And in the search of that Brahman, I have moved. And it is found to be in the cave of the heart. Now, let us be engrossed in reaching to that Buddhi Guha. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. Last 7 8 days we are talking this. If we have really tried to reach to that Guha, thoda to hum pahunch jate hain. But we were not consciously doing, or we are not interested in doing sadhana, only listening. Only professional listeners. बट जेन्युइन सिंसियर साधक होते तो कोशिश कर ही लेते अब तक ये गुहा किधर है मिस्टर. गुहा इज सर नेम इन बंगाल एंड उड़ीसा. मिस्टर गुहा. पता चल जाता है अभी तक गुहायाम. If not, none so far, let us do it from now onwards. So let us pray to God, let us put our efforts also. And let's not even waste one class or one day without trying our best to go deeper in our to be done sadhana. So there, Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman, may I be convinced about the meaning of this sentence. Saha Ashnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipashchiteti, or Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipashchita iti. By being the conscious Brahman, which is the substratum of everything, I experience the joy of everything. Because no joy in the world is possible without the Paramatma. And directly I am contacting Paramatma. So every joy is my own. Therefore, in getting the joys of the world, I am only limiting myself. And that joy goes away, I search something else again and again. Not guaranteed that every time the things and all are conducive or convenient. On the other hand, if I touch that pure conscious Brahma or self, it's a jackpot. In that included is every bliss, every time of involving in everything and getting everything without doing anything, without involving anything. That is our Atma Ananda. Not knowing this, we only just imagined that Jadadi Vastus give us Sukha Shanti, and then we're going on running behind them. Some small little tickles and pleasures, we took it as Sukha or Ananda, and we are satisfied in that only. And for that sake, every nonsense we do. So, having this way discussed, and of late, today, yesterday, day before, having understood how this Brahma Tattva is Deshataha Anantam, Kalataha Anantam, Vastutaha Anantam, and also how it is Ananya from other Vastus, and how the question asked by the Purva Bakshi, if Paramatma is the Karana, then the whole Jagat is Karya. Therefore, that Karyatva Brahma se hone ke karana, there is a limitation. There the Anantata ka nuksan ho gaya. Therefore, your Brahma is not Ananta. Therefore, it is not Satyam. Therefore, it is not Nyapti. So that way, when Purvapakshi said, Bhagavan has so importantly proved to us that Karyastya Asatyatvat or Anityatvat. What is the sentence used by is Anrutatvat Karyavastunaha. Karyavastu is not Rutam, it is Anrutam. The effects are not real independently. Can we pause a minute and think about it, which we discussed? Effects are not real independently. In the form of the effect, what is there is cause only. In the ignorance of inability to understand, we having given importance value to the mere forms and giving it a name, we give reality to that named formed as a karya. Okay? Karyatva Anrutatvat Karyavastunah. Yesterday somebody asked the question toward the end of the class. So that showed that very important understanding is little gone here and there. So when we say Parabrahma, remember Parabrahma is avikari. Parabrahma कार्य कारण बनकर जगत इनसे कार्य के रूप में नहीं आया है. Though it is said to us to reach to the Brahma. Understood? The imagination of Rupanama and given value to it is making Parabrahma Karana alone as if the Karya, without itself changing. कभी भी जगत भगवान जगत के रूप में बना है, जगत को प्रकट किया है, जगत उनसे जन्म लिया है. These are all in the beginning told to lift our attention from the Jagat to the Brahman. Thereafter, from a Brahma standpoint, who is Ajanma, Avikari, Avinashi, the Jagat cannot really come out as effect. If the Jagat is not come out as effect, the Brahman is not Karana, then what is the position of the Jagat and Brahman? That is why I said it is Mithya. It is only appearance. It is only an appearance, not real. Like we said, the milk becoming curd is the vikara of the milk as curd. So, mikar ho gaya milk ka, after which the milk is no more available. In that way, Brahman has not become Vikruta in the form of the world, that the world is not available, the Brahman is not available anymore. ऐसा नहीं. Like the mud has not become Vikruta to become the pot in such a way that the mud has lost its mudness. ऐसा नहीं हुआ ना. Still mud is there. When the water became wave, water has not lost its identity. When the gold became ornament, the gold has not lost. You understood? तो गोल्ड का विकार इज ऑर्नामेंट नहीं है. गोल्ड के ऊपर आरोपित इज ऑर्नामेंट. Superimposed. And what is superimposition? Not even form. It's only the name. That is why the quotation of Chandogya Upanishad that Vacharambhanam Vikarah. And what is that? Namadeyam. Then what is Satyam? Mrittika. When? All the time. Mrittika ityeva Satyam. That is what 100 times we say. Before the pot is made, mud alone was real. When the pot is in the making, mud alone is real. When the pot is made and used, etc., mud alone is real. When the pot is broken, that time also mud alone is real. If you can focus on this and through that example, clearly understand relation between mud and the pot, that is karya and karana and karya, what Vedanta is teaching us, we understand, which is a very crucial point. And the next stage is what? Because of our too much value given to the Rupa Nama, that's the substratum we are not able to reach to. Why value given to Rupa Nama? Because of its utility value. Why the utility? Because of the desires. Why desires? Because of vasanas. Why desires and vasanas? Because of ignorance. Ignorance of the what? The self. What is that self ignorance? That the self alone is all blissful, infinitely blissful. So theoretical problem है कि self alone has the bliss. Therefore, we search for the bliss in all these things. All this happening in the thoughts only. Remember, actions and the result of actions are very gross, very later on things. All the misunderstandings, misconceptions are only in the intellect. Is it not? Therefore, intellect has to thoroughly understand Shastra and discover that bliss is only in the Paramatma. Then, in the search of Paramatma, all the other searches we have to give up. That's called spiritual sadhana. And really, when Paramatma is found, what is promised that in that only the infinite eternal bliss is there, that is experienced. What is and where is Jagat? It's only in the ignorance of the self. When the self is known, there's no Jagat. There's no Jagat means what? There's no Jagat as other than the self. There's no Jagat as the reality other than the self. Therefore, even if the Sukha is coming from the Jagat, it is not from the Jagat, it is from the self only. When the Sukha is coming from the self, then why run for the Jagat? Directly go to the source. Then, after reaching the source, then what is the position of Jagat? It is only not to get happiness, but to express happiness that we are projecting or imagining the self in the world, in our own self, playing the play. Not to get happiness, but to express already gained happiness. है ना? कुछ लोग बिजनेस करते हैं पैसे कमाने के लिए, कुछ लोग पैसे हैं इसलिए बिजनेस करते हैं. Do you have some people are there? I have a lot of money, I'm investing. Others don't have money, they get. For the getting, they start business. So the Lord did the business of creating world not to get happiness, only to express happiness. I have it, I want to do it in this manner. Keep that in mind. So, Anrutatvad karyasya कार्यवस्तुनः न हि कारणव्यतिरेकेण कार्यं नाम वस्तुतः अति अस्ति. Okay, again I am reading. न हि कारणव्यतिरेकेण कार्यं नाम वस्तुतः अस्ति. Vastutah means in reality. Asti is existing. Karyam nama, the effect, karana vyatirekena, independent of the cause. बिना कारण का कार्य रूपी कोई इंडिपेंडेंट वस्तु नहीं हो सकता. यतः कारण बुद्धि निवर्तेता, बिकॉज ऑफ विच द कारण हैज गॉन अवे. ऐसा नहीं. अंडरस्टैंडेबल. कारण बुद्धि निवर्तेता मीन्स इतना कारण से कार्य नहीं आया कि कारण है ही नहीं अभी कि हम उसको भूल जाए छोड़ देवे ना. कारण व्यतिरेकेण कार्य नास्ति एव न अनृतम. So, Karana alone is the कार्य. कारण के ऊपर कार्य का आरोपण होता है. And what is karyam? Here it is given vacharambhanam, that vikaryam. And what is that also? Kevalam namadeyam. Then what is the whole object there? Mritika iti eva satyam. So, therefore, after listening to this 2-3 times, just look at all the pots in your mind, all the gamlas, all the lamps made out of the mud. Now become a little subtle to see the common denominator, the mud in all of them. Then what are the pots and all? Are they not mere the names given? Name only given. Therefore, name is making the effect appear in the cause without changing the cause. Therefore, cause named is effect. Cause changed is not effect. Therefore, what is the effect or the modification? Only name, not the real thing modified at all. Then come to the Brahman. Pure Brahman alone is there. Entire universe, whatever you see, is a Nama only on Parabrahma. And Parabrahma, because of its inner infinite potentiality, he can take so many Rupa without losing his Rupa, original Swarupa. Like gold without losing its goldenness, is it not taking so many Rupa of ornaments to which we give names and make use of? But what is the reality? In any Rupa, in any Nama, it is there. Gold alone is real. Without gold, the ornament is not there. Rupa Nama is not there. So too, the whole world is ornament. The gold is Parabrahma. Without Parabrahma, the ornament called the whole world is impossible to exist. Whole world. This we have to 100 times think. And that gold, the self, we have to discover in self, in our own Guhayam Nihitam. Without it, conviction will not come. Finally, once it is discovered, then everywhere the same self. Once the one common self is discovered, all the samsara, which is only because of Dvaita, disappears. Any emotions, any concepts, any understandings, all of them are based only on Dvaita. Like I love someone, hate someone, I fight with someone, I want something. These are all samsara. They're all possible only in Dvaita. In Jagra Sapna, because of Dvaita, entire samsara. In Nidra, there is no Dvaita, there is no samsara at all. When that Advaita Atma was to discovered, there is no samsara in the world. Vyavahara ho sakta hoga. Vyavahara doesn't become samsara to trouble us. This is how we have to contemplate again and again and again and again, every day for half an hour, 1 hour. Then little of the depth in understanding starts coming. And all it is question of deep understanding. उसको आप ना दिखा नहीं सकते बाहर. Of this understanding that the karana is only in the form of karya is nothing but nama. अब मैं उसको कैसे दिखाऊं आपको? Through example we can explain, and that you have to catch. The audience will have to catch what is said by the Guru Parampara and our Acharyas. And because of our too much value given to the pot, we don't want to go into its cause. We are afraid कि cause में जाए तो pot चला जाएगा. अरे नहीं जाएगा रे बाबा, पूरा दुनिया ऐसे ही रहेगा. But not as you misunderstood earlier as it is other than Paramatma. I mean, Paramatma alone in all the forms. Then samsara will go away, bliss will not go away because yourself are there everywhere. The running of the river goes away, but the bliss doesn't go because it discovered its infinite oceanness in that way. Now, Sadeva Satyam is Shrutyantarat. In another Shruti also it is said, Sat Eva Satyam. Sat means the Karanam. The Karyam is not real. The Anrutatvad Karyasya. Please remember. Anrutatvad Karya. It is not at all there. It has emerged from the cause. It is staying in the cause only as long as it is staying, and it goes back only into the cause. And what goes back into the cause? He is the Rupanama. Rupanama ही प्रोजेक्ट किया ना उस गड़े को. Think this example. This is called the mixing up of the reality and the unreal name and form. इतना आरोपण हो गया रूप नाम का वस्तु में, तो वस्तु को रूप नाम के रूप में ही हम सत्य मान रहे हैं. उसके अलावा वस्तु नहीं रह सकता ऐसा सोच रहे. This is called as the ignorance or the delusion, which in deep contemplative mood goes away. And एक बार नहीं, सैकड़ों बार we have to attempt for the firmness of understanding. In that class, Guru gives the superficial understanding. Understanding superficially means understanding is complete, but up to your listening level. Everyone will have to deeply contemplate and take it to the heart. Example 100 times we have to analyze. Then with the help of the example in the world also. And for us, luckily, in all our Shastras we already studied, Brahma means Sat and Chit. Satyam Jnanam. Therefore, the entire universe, will it exist without Sat and Chit? Impossible. Sat नहीं है तो असत हो गया वो. अब असत हो गया, अब चित्त का जिक्र ही जरूरत नहीं है. Therefore, everything is existing, everything is being known. Therefore, everything is based on the substratum of existence and consciousness. This thought we have to strengthen. And that existence consciousness has to be experienced as the self, within myself, beyond the five not selves which are taken as selves now. That's how the पंचकोश विवेक के द्वारा उसके उस पर्दे के पीछे जो आत्मा है उसका हमें अनुभव करना. That's how Taittiriya Upanishad guides us. And like the Triputi was covering the Brahman, in what sense? Not there are two things, the Triputi and Brahman are there. In the same way, Panchakoshas are covering Brahman is not in the sense that Panchakosh ko ek parda uthao, then the Brahman appears. All in Vedanta, the basic thing we have to understand is because of the avichara, non-inquiry, the wrong notions have come. Those notions only are covering Brahman, and in the inquiry, these notions are removed. That's it. Try to visualize that vision of the pot, having realized the mud in it. Becoming aware of the mud every moment in the pot. When you see the pot, you are forgetting it as mud. Pot bolte हैं. But imagine you are realized mud, and with that realization you are seeing pot or every pots. It is one only. Vyavahara is going on. But still, the reality given to the pot at the cost of the real mud is not there. That's called realization. ज्ञानी को व्यवहार मोह में नहीं डालता, अज्ञानी को व्यवहार मोह में डालता है. ज्ञानी कौन, अज्ञानी कौन? ज्ञानी इज द वन जिन्होंने फाउंड द ट्रुथ. अज्ञानी इज नॉट इट फाउंड. So when I see the self, I contact the world same way as I did earlier, but without missing the experience that it is myself. Like when I scratch with left hand, the right hand, the left. So scratch is going on, but this is me, that is me. There is no samsara. There is no left hand never says thank you. Or because it didn't say thank you, the right hand never said, अगली बार पूछ तब देख तो मैं आऊंगा ही नहीं कुछ नहीं करने को. This is all samsara, which is not there. I am only there in my everywhere. देखो, all parts are in me. I am in all parts. And walking, talking is only vyavahara. In all that, I alone am there. If this can be understood, example, same thing is in the Brahmanubhuti. Let us discover it. Now, today, as we are following the Bhashyam, the Bhashyakara, what he said so far, he tries to summarize in few lines. Because we studied it at length exhaustively, just hinting at if I can do, that will be sufficient. Let us try. Now, Tasmat, one by one. Therefore, Akashadi Karanatvat. Akasha and Adi. Adi means everything in the Akasha means Kala Ityadi. Karanatvat Deshataha Tavat Anantam Brahma. Therefore, with respect to Desha, Brahman is Anantam because Brahman is even the cause of the Desha or Akasha. Akasha and Desha are same. Because he is the cause, therefore he is not limited. Effect, cause is never limited by any time by the effect. Remember that. So Akashadi Karanatvat Deshataha Anantam Brahma. What a beautiful thing it is, Even space, be attentive, is certified only as existing. Space is. That is more subtler than the space. And that is not other than me. Space is a concept of mind. In sleep, there is no space. The self is not concept of the intellect. It is the self only. It is me. Therefore, inside when you discover, then only all questions, doubts are sorted out. That's why vidyate hrudaya grantihi chidyante sarasamshayaha only when paravare tasmin drushte. Only in the self, when it is recognized, your all final doubts, questions will go away. Nine, the example, like how do you see an object? It is there, that is there. Why do you say two objects are separate? Because in between there is no object. There is no object, but there is subject is there, who is certifying the absence of the objects. And this one who is certifying the absence of object is certifying the presence of that object, present of this object also. Is it not presence? I am there when object 1 is seen. I am there, the object 2 is seen. In between, there is no object, but I am there. Therefore, I alone am there, on whom object 1 and object 2 and opposites of object 1 and 2 are superimposed. That I is which I, not the Panchakoshwala I, not the Jivawala I, the conscious existence. Conscious existence is there in the first object also, in the second also, in the absence also. Therefore, object 1, object 2, the space in between both of them, all are superimposed on the conscious existence only. In other words, in the pure conscious existing self, the space and grossified space object, they are projected. And in the deep inquiry, even in object 1, when you go deeply, what you see is existence only again, space only. For the sake of Vyavahara, space grossified up to the earth level. That is what is the topic. Today we are going to study in the next paragraph. Tasmadva etasmad atmanaha akasha sambhutaha. We will see that patiently. So, akashadi karanatvat atmanaha deshataha anantyam. Okay. Deshatavat anantam brahma. Okay. Now, akasho hi ananta iti prasiddham deshataha. We have already seen it. With respect to Desha, Akasha is Anantam. Tasya cha idam karanam. That's called, try to catch it. Of this Akasha also, this Parabrahma is Karanam. Because Akasha is. Parabrahma is. सत्यम करके ऑलरेडी परब्रह्म का हमने डिस्कस कर लिया ना. Therefore, आकाश का भी क्यों कैसे कारण है परब्रह्म? Because the existence in the Akasha is Paramatma. Okay. Then Akasha Ananta iti prasiddham deshataha tasya cha idam karanam. See, it is so subtle and so abstract that concretely by showing any of the things, Atma looks like this, Brahman looks like we cannot show because it's not Anatma. Again and again, when we live, all the contradictions, conflicts, confusions go away. We have started that now. In all these Upanishads with Bhashya, in this deep way, again and again, when we study and contemplate, our subtle intellect becomes subtler to understand, accept those subtle things. Like we never said, object 1, object 2, in between there is space. So I am there in that. So it is me only in the form of object 1, object 2, and space. Which me? That which is certifying all these three present and that which certifies even their absence also. That is Satchit. Me. So, tasya cha idam karanam tasmat siddham deshataha atmana anantyam. That's why we are saying with respect to space, there is no antata of the Brahman or Atman, it is anantam. Deshataha anantam. So, no limitation of the space on Paramatma, Parabrahma. That he is there at this place, not there in the other place as any. In fact, all the place or the space is supported by the isness called as Brahma. And both spaces, the outer gross space called as Bhutakasha, the inner subtle place called as Chittakasha. Bhutakasha has got all the Khagola Bhugola hanging in it. Chittakasha has got all the thoughts hanging in it. Both Bhuta Akasha is or not, yeah, it is, that isness is Brahman. But that ease is an Anubhuti as an Atma. Therefore, only when we become absolutely introverted on the state of meditation, that ease is experienced as not objectively but subjectively. That's why the language is I am the Brahman whose nature is Sachidananda, on whom akasha, etc. are projected. That recognition is called realization. But immediately it doesn't happen because I'm identified as Jiva with Upadhi and running in the world with so many vasanas, desires. So many tensions, obstructions are there. Unless they're all removed. Isn't it? How many traffic jams are there? How can the journey be smooth? That's why whenever VVIP comes in advance, they remove it and he goes. Like we have to see one movie on a screen. 20 projectors are projecting 20 movies, let us say. Can you see anything? सारे निकाल के एक लगाओ तो आपको अच्छा ही दिखता है. इसी में we are in so many of notions, ignorances, confusions, all put together are not allowing us to recognize the pure self. Therefore, we have to sort them all through karma, bhakti and ashtangadi yoga. तभी जाकर इन विषयों को समझना, ध्यान करना, फिर तत्व को, आत्मा को, ब्रह्म को जानना is possible. So, because the self is the karana of the space, etc., therefore, the limitation with regard to the space is not there in Parabrahma. Therefore, Deshataha, it is Anantam. It is what is concluded. Deshataha Atmana Anantyam. Now, Nahi Asarvagatat Sarvagatam Utpapadyamanam Loke Kinchit Drishyate. Another reason is given. Interesting. They're all tongue twisting things. Only on the very subtle inquiry level we catch it. What is that? Nahi asarvagatat. That which is not all pervading, from that sarvagatam utpadyamanam loke. The all pervading cannot be born. So space is all pervading, everyone knows it. Okay, the space is an effect that is also understood. Then the cause of space can it be without being sarvagata? Nahi sarvagatat asarvagatat sarvagatam utpadyamanam loke drishyate kinchit drishyate. From the non all pervading, asarvagatat, all pervading called as sarvagatam utpadyamanam can be projected or created, loke kinchit drishyate cannot be seen in the world. So that which is not all pervading, from that the all pervading cannot come. Therefore, the effect is Akasha, cause is Brahma. Therefore, cause should be also all pervading. That is why all pervading is equal to Deshataha Ananta. Every desha it is there. Okay. Ataha Niratishayam Atmanaha Anantyam Deshataha. Therefore, doubtless is infinitude of the Atmavastu with regards to the desha. देश का हमने सॉर्ट आउट कर दिया तो काल का सॉर्ट आउट हो जाएगा. देश काल सॉर्ट आउट हो गया तो इन देश काल ओनली ऑल वस्तुस आर देयर, therefore they are also sorted out. The bigger than the biggest is desha, not even kala. Okay, so atah niratishayam atmana anandyam deshatah tatha. The next one we saw akaryatvat kalatah. We already said that which is karya, which is limited hota hai with respect to kala, because karya will not always be there as a karya. There will be a time when it will go back into its cause, karana, or before it expressed as karyam, at the karana level it was not there. At the karana time it was not there. Therefore, there was a time where the effect is not there. But cause, it is there even when it has not expressed as effect, and even when it is expressed as an effect, is the cause is permeating the effect or not? Very much. Therefore, being karana, not karya. It is, see, कारण होने के कारण देश का भी अनंतता आ गया, और कार्य नहीं होने के कारण it is not limited by the kala. See, this is how we have to contemplate. And such is the self in us we have to discover. And it is not an object, it is subjective experience. Then how much we are deluded with Panchakoshadi Upadhi that we are not able to reach to our own real self. That is why the difficulty. That is why so many lives it will take to understand the subject, the Upanishads, Then so many lives to set on the seat of meditation contemplation. And in one of the last lives, by the grace of God Guru, that Anubhati comes. For that we have made a beginning and we have to continue. Don't give it up. After saying so, atah niratishayam atmana anantyam deshatah tatha akaryatvat kalatah. Then tad bhinna vastu antara abhavat cha vastuta. There is no vastu can exist other than Paramatma independently. Therefore, vastu antara abhavat vastutah anantyam is achieved. Because Brahman is not karyam, kalatah anantyam is achieved. And because it's a karana even for the space also, the deshatah anantyam is achieved. Therefore, desha kala vastutah Paramatma is ananta. And why vastutah? Because ananyatvat we have discussed. And the karanatva antata aya hoga brahma mein? No. Why? Finally, the karya is unreal. Anutatvat karyasya. When you deeply think all that, these things, with this understanding of Karya Karana Mimamsa, you look at the world, your vision will change. Like you see the chair, but you sit in the chair, but still it's a wood made into the chair. There's nothing called as a chair in which you are sitting. You are sitting in the wood only, but calling that you are sitting in a chair. See that? Where is the chair in the chair independent of the wood? But then what is the relation between the wood and chair? Wood called by name is chair. Wood did not modify as chair. Please. Modification means what? Not remaining as it is. But is the wood remaining as it is or not? It is remaining as same. But a shape is given. That's it. Shape doesn't change the reality. Shape means form. When you give a form to the gold, it doesn't change the original gold, is it not? See that beauty? And how the formation in that is in its inherent power or potentiality. In the Buddha, the power and potentiality to get molded is called its power, its Shakti, on which we acted upon and gave a shape to it and gave a name to it. And we are calling it by that name, using it for that purpose, forgetting that it is a wood. Again and again. Kitna stamina chahiye, remember now, to think in these lines. कितना concentration चाहिए, कितना subtlety चाहिए, and all of that based on कितना purity चाहिए. Purity is when no more the intellect is enslaved by the emotions and desires of mind, the attractions of the senses, as well as temptations of the world. When these things we avoid, at that calm and quiet level of the mind, we discover. After discovering, when you look back into the world is the self only. All those earlier temptation, distract, they won't be there. Because reality जब नहीं जाना तभी ये सब समस्याएं होते हैं. And they will never end unless the self is recognized. Self you can't recognize unless purity is there. Purity will not come unless for the time being we keep all the things away. That's why Abhyasa Vairagya Abhyam Tannirodha, they are also the same thing. Now, after Ataha Eva Niratishaya Satyatvam, therefore, the Brahman is unquestionably reality, all pervading, and all the time it is there, and in everything it is there. It is a cause of everything without becoming itself an effect. देखो कार्य नहीं बना हुआ सबका कारण है और सब देश में रहने वाला देश नहीं है, सब काल में रहने वाला काल नहीं है, सब वस्तु में रहने वाला वस्तु नहीं है. सत्य श्री अकाल. You know that? And that is our essential self. Like I'm a waker's mind, waking mind. Suddenly in the dream, the entire world is projected. In the world there is desha, there is in the dream there is a desha, there is a kala, there is a vastu. And I am there in that desha kala vastu, doing all the vyavahara. But when you wake up, kaha hai sab? The ignorance of the waking mind alone created the world of Swapnam, is it not? In the same way, in the ignorance of the pure Brahman alone, the entire world is projected in which we are lost. Of which the knowledge we have started gaining little now. And it has to be, as I'm every day saying, hundreds and thousands of times when we listen with respect, then that understanding starts dawning and we start accepting it. After that, only our effort to realize that self on which the world is projected and binding us, that pure jignasa happens. Jnatum ichha or mumukshita it is called. In the tivra mumukshita and tivra jignasa only, they will be able to reject everything which is objecting or obstructing our discovery of the self. Then, in that heated contemplative meditation, the nearing to the self and realizing the self, abiding in the self happens. After that, is everything my own self. There is no samsara. Only in two-ness there is samsara, and as long as there is two-ness, you can never avoid samsara because samsara is limitation. When two are there, one limits the other. When there is limiting is there, you can never be happy. And that's why, in the train, you have sat, let us say, in the first railway station. Compartment is so empty. You just enjoy. आकर immediately the next station दो बंदे आ गए और you start feeling the limitation for no reason. The mere fact that somebody is there other than me enough for creating the disturbance in our mind called samsara. Therefore, everybody in the universe wants only these two things which have same meaning. What is that? There should be no thing other than me. If it all there, that thing should be mine only. That is why people are with love trying to make everyone as themselves, or with hatred trying to send away everyone from them. In both cases, they want to remain as one without sin. Is it not? जो हमको जिनको हम हेट करते हैं, they should go away so that I alone should remain. With whomever we love, we say they are one with me. And the final point is what? In the oneness only there is peace and happiness. But what is the meaning of desire of Rasagulla? Nothing but the Rasagulla is other than me. As long as it's other than me, I will have a misery of desire for it. What is the meaning of happiness of eating Rasagulla? Not the Asagula eating happiness. It is no more other than me. It has become one with me. So the concept of duality is replaced by the reality of oneness. So therefore there is a happiness. You understand it? In the Advaita Anubhuti, there is moksha. Advaita is only Atma. Atma is Sachidananda. That Sachidananda Atma is in the Guha. That Guha we can reach only across Panchakosha. Therefore, the Panchakosha Viveka will start. Listen again, listen again, listen again. Don't listen anything opposite to that. All that is again delusion. We were there in that only. That language will be flowery. The temptation is enchanting. That indulgence is definitely giving the outer pleasure. But all of them are going to only bind us. By putting us in more and more delusion. What is more and more delusion? Again, same thing. The world is real. It has to give me sukha. I'll run behind it. एक के बाद भागते रहते. This is the beginning of spiritual study, please. We have not become masters of it. Like the great masters who are in the experience of the self everywhere. They are prashanta like infinite ocean. We are just like a river from our Udgamasthana of samsara, slowly moving towards our own reality called as the ocean. In that, slowly we are taking the steps. We are first trying to understand the Brahman objectively as Satyam Jnanantam, but the knowledge is complete only when we know that objectively understood Satyam Jnanantam Brahman is my own subjective self. Then I being that subjective Satyam Jnanantam Brahma, how I am becoming miserable as a Jiva and Upadhi? Because of ignorance of Brahma Swarupa. Then what to do? Pursue that. To pursue it, you have to stop all the opposite pursuing. Therefore, stop every other things. न कर्मणा न प्रजान्नेन त्यागेन एके और पुत्रेषण वित्तेषण लोकेशनाय युत्थाय भैक्षचराम चरन्ति. Vegetarian Charanti means become sannyas. Sannyas' only goal is to discover the self. All of us. And be a sadhaka. Don't justify more and more again and again. हम अभी भी गृहस्थ आश्रम में हैं, हमको ये सारे फसाव है. All that will again demoralize us. Never ever use those words. नहीं तो साधक कभी नहीं बनेंगे कितने भी जन्म में. On the other hand, I am sadhak, when you say, slowly from samsara we come out. अदरवाइज स्वामी जी ये सब हमको कहाँ समझ में आएंगे, हम तो फंसे हैं. फंसे ही रहोगे फिर. फंसे रहेंगे. लाइक व्हेन आई से आई एम एंग्री, आई एम मिजरेबल, यू आर नॉट एंग्री, यू आर नॉट मिजरेबल, योर माइंड इज एंग्री, योर माइंड इज मिजरेबल. व्हेन यू डोंट से लाइक दैट, ऑलवेज यू विल बी आइडेंटिफाइंग द माइंड, एंड व्हाटएवर द माइंड दैट विल बिकम. It will never end. Just like you say, mind is angry, mind is lazy, at least there is a chance that mind is other than me. That knowledge starts happening. Then one day you detach your mind by being a sakshi, then none of the mind's things influence you, you are liberated. Like in yoga shastra, वृत्तियों को थोड़ा शांत करो तो वृत्तियों को देखने वाला परमात्मा एक अलग है और विवेक का ख्याति उत्पन्न होगा. उसके बाद ही सारे वृत्तियों को सबड्यू करेंगे. Then विवेक के ख्याति को भी त्याग करेंगे. Then we enter into असंप्रज्ञात yoga, which is equal to Swarupaavasthanam. So here also, don't say, on the other hand, say, how long I should be like a samsari lost in upadhis in the world, and I am justifying, stupid fellow. When the God and Guru are teaching through Shastra, instead of listening to them, I am listening to my own Beokufi. What a fool I am. This is how we have to think. गुरुओं को हमारे ऊपर भरोसा है कि हम साधना कर सकते हैं, हमको नहीं है. That mistake we have to rectify. If you don't rectify it, then you will listen everybody's classes, but you continue to be samsari only, like me also. I'll talk everything, but if I don't say that I'm a sadhak wanting to know the self, then I'll be a samsari of only a speaker. Speaker is a sadhana to me. Speaker is not a siddhi to me. Laksha nahi hai. In that way, by the way, we have to understand. Now, having said so, from this mantra onwards, now this bhasha onwards, the second part of the mantra is explained. The second part is tasmadva etasmad atmanaha akashah sambhutaha akashadvayu, etc. etc. And the flow of this explanation is not at all difficult now, but जो है वो बताना ही. But the crucial points were these, which we were dwelling from last couple of weeks. Some opening up must have happened in us. If not, listen. Whenever the opening has not come means Guru Ishvara Krupa Bharpur nahi hua. So intensify the prayers. Or maybe Antakarana is still Ashuddhi. Therefore make it Shuddha by Bhakti and Upasana. Then these understandings will be clear. Now Tasmadva Tasmad Atmana Akasha Sambhuta is very interesting. As I told you, the Sambhavami, it is there. Atma से आकाश उत्पन्न हुआ, मतलब क्या हुआ? आकाश ही, आत्मा ही आकाश के रूप में पाया गया, देखा गया, जाना गया, स्वीकृत किया गया. Otherwise, Akasha can never be without Atma. So from this, it's only a theory told that from the self, the Akasha came, from that the Vayu, Jala and all of that. Finally, the Purusha came. Now, through the discussion of Karya Karana Mimamsa earlier, therefore, in the Karya Rupi Annamaya Deha, what is there? Karana Rupi Parabrahma only. This is called as Anna Brahma Upasana, which will come slowly we see. All is in our own misconcepts of intellect, which we said 20 minutes back. The problems are there. Then the solution is only in removing the wrong concepts and notions, replacing them by right knowledge, and that knowledge should become experience. Finally, Anubhav hi, कि मैं ब्रह्म हूँ, सत्यम ज्ञानवंतम, that frees me from, like, if how many number of times I am told in the dream, you are not dreamer, you are waker, you are dreamer, you are not waker, you are not dreamer, you are waker. कितना भी सुनो बोलो, still we are in the dream bondage only, is it not? How that bondage will end? Actually, when I wake up and experience my being waker, then only the dream world goes. Is it not? So, to actually, when we experience Brahmasmi, then only Jiva Dehosmi completely go away. This is also one thought, let us keep in mind. Now, this Tasmad Vaye Tasmat study, steadily, beautifully, we will do tomorrow. Okay? Then Savayesha Purushonnama Sameta Sedameva Shrayam Dakshina Pakshaha. With this, the first Anuvaka will be over tomorrow. Second Anuvaka onwards, the second, third, fourth, koshas are taken, and through all that, what he said is all these are karya and there is a karana. Start seeing karana in the karya. Don't give reality to the karya at the cost of karana. The change of vision is the outcome of the knowledge. And change vision कर दो, दृष्टि को बदल दो, तो you are directly in experience of Brahman. Two levels of drishti are one intellectual drishti, second is anubhuti. Intellectual and anubhuti. दोनों आएंगे, धीरे धीरे हम करेंगे. तो थैंक यू. कंटिन्यू टुमारो. ओम 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 पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. परम ऋषिभ्यो नमः. परब्रह्मणे नमः. श्रुतिमात्रे नमः. तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो नमः. श्री वेदव्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्यादि ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो नमः. Wait back for our Yoga Darshana Shastra class.